Hello everyone and welcome to Shane's Autos. Today we're going to be taking this 2010 Ford Kuga Zetec on a test drive. I'd like to thank Heron Auto, Opel and Kia for allowing me to come down here today to test drive the 2010 Ford Kuga Zetec. So the Kuga has a completely keyless ignition system, so all you have to do is keep the key fob around your person or even in the car. Put your foot on the brake and clutch, and the car will start. So we're starting today's test drive out in the back road as usual, where we're going to assess the ride quality. And so far we've been over a few bumpy patches and the Kuga seems to be absorbing them quite well. The suspension is relatively firm, but without being uncomfortable, it does have a good amount of ride quality to it. And also the steering in this car does feel a bit light, so it does, maybe some people won't like that, but it doesn't feel too bad. There's quite a nice bit of quality from it. Most people who would drive SUVs off-road kind of go for cars like Range Rovers, for example. The Kuga can do light off-roading, but realistically it's not a car you're going to see going over forests or through quarries and stuff like that. But it's good to know the four-wheel drive system is there. It's quite a good advanced one as well. I also like what they've done with these armrests here up in the door. There's a nice cutaway, it's got a soft touch padding, so as you can see you can just put your arm up there and relax if you're going on a long distance journey. So we're just going to take the Kuga onto the bypass and see how it performs. There's quite a good amount of pulling power from it. You can really feel the turbo kicking in. Out here on the open roads, Kuga is still very nice to drive. I will admit, when you get up to about 60 miles an hour, there is a bit of wind noise and you can hear a bit of tyre noise, but it's not too bad. You can get used to it very quickly. And the best thing is this is an SUV. Essentially, it's a little crossover hatchback, and it looks quite big from the outside, but in here it feels kind of quite as big as a Ford Focus, really. It doesn't feel like you're sitting up high. I mean, you do have a good view over the road, but you don't feel like you're sitting a mile high in the air like you were, let's say, in a much bigger SUV such as a Range Rover. This here is just about right. You have a good view of everything around you. All the side windows are quite big, and it has very good all-round rear visibility. The engine is a 138 brake horsepower 2-litre turbo diesel. It has a top speed of about 114 miles per hour, and Ford say it's good for about 47 mpg. You can also have this very same diesel engine producing 163 horsepower, and then you can also choose to have a 2.5 litre inline 5-cylinder turbocharged petrol. Now that produces 197 horsepower with a top speed of about 130 miles per hour, but inevitably its MPG is not as good as the diesels. It'll only do about 28 miles to the gallon. The overall interior quality of the Kuga is quite nice. It has nice blue accent in the central bridge, blue door pulls, as well as a nice blue stripe on the seat, which I like very much. It also continues into the back seats as well. It's got many storage areas. There's this center armrest, has a nice good deep storage area as well. We have storage in here, and then there's also a little place up here in the front of the dash. It also has sunglasses container, nice and padded. There are one or two cheap feeling plastics in this car. Maybe the radio cluster feels a bit cheap. I know in some cars they covered this with a nice glossy paint finish, which is a lot nicer. And the top of the dash does feel a bit cheap as well. On other crossover hatchbacks, for example like the Kia Sportage, that would be a much soft touch material, which is quite nice. Then we get to the steering wheel. It has all the volume controls located down here. It's a nice leather wrap. It has very nice 9 and 3 positions, nice feel to it. And also it's a 4-spoke and it's got these nice brushed aluminium pieces to it. But overall the Kuga is a nice car. The interior is quite a nice place to be. If you go for a more upmarket model you'll get a bit more in the way of interior quality. But overall it's not too bad. Tailgate. It has a split tailgate actually. There's an electronic boot release on this side and that opens the top hatch. Very handy if you just want to fire something small in. And then when we come to the center one, just under the badge here, see that? And as you can see there's quite a lot of boot space. It's got a 12-volt power outlet and it even comes with this removable parcel shelf. It's not a bad boot. I suppose some other cars like the Sportage, as I'll use an example again, is a little bigger, but this isn't what you would call small either. There is quite a decent amount of room. You could fit many everyday items in there. So overall, I do give the Kuga high praise. I think it's a very nice little car all around. I can't really criticise it too much. So I'm just about finished with the test drive now. Overall, I think the Kuga is an excellent car. For more information regards to Arenado, please see the link in the description box below. There's a link to the website. And for a price list and any additional information on this car, just write it in the comments and I'll answer as many questions as I can. Thanks for watching everyone.